Good afternoon, everybody. So today I wanted to talk to you about how the narcissist becomes you. In the first cycle of the love bomb phase, you may have a meet, and then after that, they will do a lot of research on you at home, look up a lot of different things about where you live, anything they can find. And then when you go on your first date, they will begin to mirror back to you yourself. And in that state, they will begin to love bomb you. You're going to be the best thing they ever have met. They're going to tell you about how they were a victim, how they were always done wrong, but they're high value and they deserve much more, but they never were able to receive it from any other love partners. They always gave them too many chances and it just never worked out for them. From there, a lot of them, you'll find they'll do the data mining while in love bombing phase. They're infatuated with you. And even though they know that they're in a cycle and they know how it's going to end, it's going to be just for a time, a short time. And then they're going to put you in devalue mode. They actually play into this. They gaslight themselves into, because they enjoy this. When they're infatuated, like I said, they follow all of their lusts. And infatuation, again, is something that is lustful. So they will have like a duality going on. A lot of times the narcissist has duality going on. So they're enjoying this love bomb phase with you because they're infatuated, but they're nailing down another piece of property. That's how they see it. And everything, you'll hear the narcissist say some weird things sometimes, like, look at all that you gave me. It's weird. Like all of the things that you own are now theirs. This is how they believe. And you are theirs. They're really odd. But they will data mine you. They will continue to love bomb you. They'll put you on a high pedestal because you're perfect like they are. And you're going to want to be the one to solve all of their problems or all of their love partner problems and all of the situations where people did them wrong. You're going to be the right, Mr. Right, Miss Right, whatever. To some degree, they do believe this. And at some point, you're going to either defy them or upset them, give them some kind of narcissist injury or something you may not even know about it. In the very beginning, they're going to be very flexible. They're going to try to get on all levels that you are on. They are going to continue to love bomb you until they can get you to start telling stories about your intimate past, things that happened to you, or once they start to hear those types of things, they know that they've got your trust and your love for the most part. That you are convinced that they are who they're telling you they are. So these are things that they look for in a partner relationship. They will be reliable, agreeable. If you do give them a narcissist injury or a slight, they will let it go. They will hold back from what they would normally do, and they will let it go during the love bomb phase. They will invest in you. They will do things that maybe nobody's ever done for you because it gets that love bomb phase going faster. They're on rapid speed, the narcissist. Everything with them is fast. They're fast to do everything. And they're fast to get married. I mean, a narcissist will marry you. If you're a primary source of supply and they're infatuated, they will marry you in 3 months or less. Is quite the typical. And then you'll have decades trying to get out of it sometimes. In some cases, I've heard a lot of situations. But they want to know, as they study you, your desires, your beliefs, your secrets, your dreams, and all of these things that are in here, in your mind. Because what they're doing, when they understand your desires, your dreams, your secrets, and all of that, they start to future fake with you in regards to all of those things. Like I said, they get into your dreams, your vision of the future as well. And they will future fake with you. And these are things that get you all messed up in the end if you're not careful. Why do they do this? And what you'll find is in the very beginning, they want to be like you. You have gifts, you have character. They've seen how you can work with others when you meet individuals, how you are, how genuine, how passionate, how truthful you are. So these are things that the narcissist really, a lot of times, truly comes to the primary source for. They're infatuated because you have a lot of gifts that they don't have. They're used to being a chameleon and a copycat. So if they can be with you for a time or whatever, they want to be with you at that moment in time so that they can learn to be like you in their infatuation. And shortly thereafter, they do realize that they can't. They can't. They just don't possess the tools. And having no love, there's so much connected to having or understanding love from someone who doesn't understand love. Just that alone is everything. You can't have trust. You can't have loyalty. You can't do anything without love. I mean, really, without the understanding of empathy. Cognitive love, what they call cognitive love, is pretty much them watching a movie and copying those mannerisms, those specific pinpoint times where they need to shed some tears or put a frown on. They will practice these things because they can't get feelings of it. They can't have understanding even why we have truth or loyalty, any of that. And that's also why they are black and white thinkers. They're either all in or all out. There is no, in a relationship, you're going to have a lot of middle ground. In a friendship, in anything, you're going to have a lot of middle ground. And these are things that cause narcissists to not be successful as well. In the family unit, there's the golden child and the scapegoat. So you got the perfect one and then the all wrong one, the one that gets blamed for everything. Praise for everything, blame for everything. Golden child, praise for everything, scapegoat, blame for everything. Well, that's how they were when they were kids. But when they get older and they get their own family or they get their own boyfriends or girlfriends, they always say there's always more than two, so there's always three of you. There's always three people in a narcissistic relationship, in a love partner relationship. There's always three. There's usually like five. You, her, and three others or something. But there comes a point to where you can't handle it so much. So usually you can have supply for anything as well, though. You can have that fling supply that you just go on trips with for sex or whatever. This is how they do it. Or they have the supply for the guy that'll take them out once in a while for a nice meal. I mean, it's just crazy. So who knows? If you have several forms of supply, they're going to take up your time. Okay, so you can only have so much. But, they never sleep, the narcissist, so who knows exactly how many they have. But my point is there's always at least three, and there's always three because when they're with you, they have to be degrading somebody if they're love bombing you. Anytime they're love bombing somebody, they have to be in the background degrading and destroying somebody. So that's the scapegoat. You're the golden child. Now, when they leave you, you're going to be the scapegoat getting destroyed, and they're going to be love bombing another golden child with your fuel. And then when they come back to you, they're going to be using that person's fuel to love bomb you back in when you get revalued, re-idolized. And now you're the golden child, re-idolized again. And now whoever they're leaving, monkey branching from to you, is going to be the scapegoat. This is how it works. But when they meet you, they're infatuated with you, and so they're always cheating. That right there tells it. Because the day they met you, they were seeing somebody that they were devaluing. They want to become you after they can't garner this for themselves. They can't generate. We are generators. Creative, with the ability to be creative, to generate, to have God's perfect common sense, and Satan is perfect senselessness. So we can have good common sense. But these are a lot of gifts right there that they don't have. And then they cannot have the things that you absolutely need in a relationship, but they like them. And a lot of times they come to the empath because you may be close to God and they are completely disconnected. So the closest they can get to God may be through you, at least getting a little bit. Also, if they cannot generate these forms of gifts, love, joy, peace, they want to find a way to generate it for themselves, and maybe that will fix them. So they come to you and then they're infatuated, but then they learn they can't. then you slight them or something, you're in devalue mode, and now they're out to destroy you and take them from you. So the whole time they are with you, projecting, triangulating, they are also finding ways to get you to react. That's what they're studying, the chinks in your armor. Once they know where the buttons are to push you, to get you to react, they will start to do that until you wake up. They can't generate this for themselves like you can innately. So because of that, they have to steal it from you. So they to some degree come to empaths because they think they can learn to generate it for themselves and use it for their manipulations, to further their manipulations so they can be all powerful or more powerful. But then they realize they can't. So if they are with you and you're their primary supply, they can steal it from you every day. And that would be, I guess, the next best thing. So if they can get you to react every day and steal your fuel every day, then they can get a glimpse and understanding of how it, or at least be able to use it, because they're stealing it, because they switch energy with you. And a lot of times they want to find out your dreams, they want to find out your visions, they want to find out about your childhood and everything. Because you got to understand, when you wear that energy that you stole from them, you can have these thoughts in the back of your mind, and it helps you to get into that mode of them spiritually. It helps them to know where you came from and what makes you tick. So a lot of times, people always say that they will act like you when you're not around. And you may never see it, but that's the truth. That's the case. They will, all of your mannerisms and things, they will play out. The words that you use, the sayings, or the way that you make movements and stuff, they will copy those. And they may not do it around you because they know that you would call them out on this copying or faking. But when they're with, say, another source of supply, this is when they will use these types of tactics. But it's to further the manipulations with your gifts. And if they can draw off you on a regular basis, then they can wear you on a daily basis. See, what they're trying to do too is they're unloading all their negative energy on you. So now you're becoming what seems to be the toxic one. You're annoyed, frustrated. You inside, in your head, you feel lonely all the time because they're not supplying any of your needs, and there's no respect. They're just continually breaking you down. So they say that you look on the outside, when they break up with you and destroy you, that you look on the outside as they do on the inside, because you're disheveled. You're an addict like they are for their validation, for their help, decision making, anything. You're anxious when they're not around because you have to go. They get you under this obedience, and they devalue you so bad and form all these rules and then rage out on you. So then you start walking on eggshells, thinking 20 times before you're going to ask them a question. So you're kind of giving them the ability to be, you end up becoming subservient to them completely. And you also lose your creativity, right? Do you have any creativity when you don't talk about anything because you're scared to? That freezes you, right? So you're frozen in time. And like I said, you will reverse all the way back to sucking your thumb, man, if it was up to the narcissist. And that's what they want to do. I mean, they become you. See how they're becoming you and you're becoming them, because they're tossing their fuel on you every day in the energy field. You don't even know what's yours and what's not, and you're absorbing it. And then you're trying to believe them, trying to help them, trying to understand them, trying to walk in their shoes. And then they will get you to react out amongst their friends. And then all of the smearing that they are starting, because they start it right away, they just don't implement it. They'll be like, oh, I love him, but he's got issues, but I'm trying to help him. Those situations, they get you to then react out and about with their friends, something that you're passionate about that you can't get an answer to or help on, or they act like they are missing something in here, and then you get annoyed out and about wearing their fuel. And then of course they're going to believe the narcissist that you're the problem, and they're wearing your fuel so they look good. So you're not looking so good. You have no fuel. You have, like we were talking about, the headaches, the migraines, the brain fog. You're not creative anymore. You're anxious, depressed, so you don't want to say anything. You got to think 20 times before you say something to somebody. You may not have any cash in your pocket because they're controlling all the money too. So these are things that They start walking in your aura because they're stealing it on a daily basis, and you shouldn't be with them because you're unequally yoked to begin with. But because you have, this is the price that you have to pay. And then when they devalue or discard you, when they leave, they break you down as best they can before they leave. That last argument, I mean, they will tell you the nastiest things about you, and it's really about them, because when they're trying to project onto you, which most of you know already, it's really them telling you the truth about them. That's the only time the narcissist can tell the truth. So then when they leave you, they are in hopes that you're going to be destroyed. You're not going to go to work. You're going to lose your job. You're going to have all these problems. You're not going to believe you can do anything. You're going to be too anxious to leave the house. And this is what they want. They're setting you up to be a complete codependent and to also hibernate until they're ready to come back after they're done playing around. They play with people. They're evil people. I don't care about what anybody says. They're the epitome of evil. That's what they become. Maybe they didn't start out that way, but that's what they become. And I'm not the only one out here. If I was the only one out here saying this, then maybe I'd be the liar. But these guys, man, most of the time, everybody agrees. So then when they leave you, they start to act like you. Meaning if they had certain things going on, it's almost like they try to act leveled up from leaving you. They'll act extra good if they had, a lot of times they can put addictions on hold in a weird way. People have spoke on that. They can have major addictions, but they can put them on hold for a while. They will act even better than they did when they met you. And they're going to play out that role and act just like you were. And now you're going to act like them because they threw so much of their negative fuel on you, and then they just cut and run. And so it validates the fact that you were the problem. And sometimes when they hoover you for the first time or the second time, or they may not even tell their friends, because then it would show that they could be the problem. So they may just do it on the low. They may not, but if so, there'll be some kind of backdrop story of how, you apologize for something you didn't even do. But these are the kind of things that they do. And it leaves you in such a defunct state that you look like them and they look like you. And then a lot of times that's why they will call and check on you. They want to keep you in that devalued state. Sometimes they want to just see you enough so they can maybe have sex with you and get that fuel again, so they can continue it, perpetuate it, and throw more of their negative energy on you through sexual energy. They use your fuel to manifest because they can't manifest anything good in their life. So a good individual, you have, not to get on a new age type way, but you have blessings. You're everything. There's things about you that carry blessings. And this emotional field is very heavy. It's the one thing that somebody could steal that kind of encapsulates some things of your character. It's like your aura. And that's why you get narcissists that come to you and they may attack you when after the narcissist discards you because you're wearing their fuel and you got to burn it off. And if you don't heal or you allow them to keep coming back, you're going to keep wearing their fuel. So you're going to look like a narcissist in the spirit realm. You're going to walk on that vibration. I told you that that vibration is all abusers. They're all thieves, liars, and everything else that comes with evil people. So you can get hurt, injured, because that's not what you normally reside on, that vibration. The narcissist does. And other narcissists will know or think, they can feel these things out. They know who is like them and who's not, right? So these are the things that happen, but they can become you. And they will keep coming back until people say, well, why do they keep coming back? They keep coming back until you ain't around no more. That's all. It's simple. Everything with the narcissist is simple. The problem is they get you all gaslit into this fantasy. See, they're in a fantasy. Their fantasy is a fake reality, and they want you to walk into that reality with them. And that reality is that they're a truthful, kind individual that loves, and they care about you, and you have it misunderstood. When in fact, you're the one with all the power, and you're the one that has to consent to the relationship. And I do believe that the way it works is they will never leave you alone until you consent to leaving the relationship, even while you're trauma bonded. And that's tough sometimes, but you have to consent to go into the relationship, and you have to consent to leave the relationship, because a narcissist may never do that. That's why they can't give you closure, because this is a spiritual law, almost. And so that's why you're the one with all the power, and they switch it up on you to make you feel as if you have nothing good, that you're nothing good. But when you wake up and you heal, and you may isolate for a time, you're going to reassess everybody in your life, friends, relatives, everybody, and you're going to start narrowing down who you can trust and who's good, and reevaluate everything in your life, and then you're going to have to process all of this. That's why getting a new hobby or something that you can get into that will switch up your energy and get you off the narc vibration a little bit, get you off some of this rumination. Whatever you like to do. If you can find a group of people that do it, and you can, even if it's just an hour a week, you like to paint, okay. I mean, you like to draw, you like to do oil paints or something. I mean, something, so that you can kind of get your mind off of that rumination and kind of get it switched up. That's part of how you heal, is it gets you on a different level of vibrating, man, so that you're not thinking about them, ruminating on them nonstop. But you're able to stop thinking about them for a minute and maybe start enjoying painting this picture. Things like that. But when you heal, you will level up several times over, and you got to push yourself, because pain is love to some degree, meaning everything that is good in your life, it takes work. And sometimes it don't feel good, but it's good for you. It's good for your character. It's good for your brain's pathways. The brain is the mind. The brain is the laziest organ system. And that's why the narcissist was able to create all these negative pathways, that if they can't get something the right way, then that pathway got shut off, because it always looks for the path of least resistance. If it was in fight or flight, just steal it. It's quicker. It's even a quicker pathway in the brain. But that's what they did. They carved that out, and that's supposed to be for fight or flight. And they're using it to make, because they don't want to do this work. Then this right here, this activity of the brain starts to shut off, and this new pathway of just take it has begun. And it starts carving it out. Do you ever see a trail? People keep walking on it. There ain't nothing going to grow on it. Ain't no grass going to grow no more. It's going to be a real pathway. It's going to get indented. That's what happens in your mind, in your brain. When you can form new pathways, and you can form them through fight or flight. And these are things that they did to reprocess their brain, and they did it enough to where it shuts off the love centers, to where it's almost like, and it takes a lot of work to open those pathways back up. But anyway, if you can give me a like, subscription, and a thumbs up, love y'all. Until next time, peace, be out.